Okay, so today we are going to have discussion for today's newspaper, Indian Express, Pune edition. So just give me a minute. I'm downloading today's newspaper, then we can continue. Meanwhile, if you have any doubts for yesterday's news paper and yesterday's editorial and yesterday's news which was there in the newspaper, you can ask. So any doubts, Ritika?
No,
Yeah. Muhammad Uzair and Shabnam, can you please mute yourself? Check. So Ritika, have you read yesterday's newspaper?
yes, I have read it. I've read the editorials.
Editorials. Okay, good. So no doubts.
No, sir.
Okay.
Also about the USA's president, sir, do we have to read that editorial? Is that important for us?
No, not required. But only you can see after the election, because after the elections, it depends who has elected as a president and how his election
Yes.
as a president will impact India-US relations. So that we need to study
Oh,
after the results of the election and not right now.
before.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So just as a like aware person, if you want to keep eye or if you can't, what you can say, just know what's happening in US, what type of elections is going on, then you can read it out. But I don't think that UPSC exam point of view, it will be relevant for you. But just general knowledge, you may read it because ho sakta hai, in interview they might ask you a question related to the elections which happened in US. So
Yes.
if you give the answer, it is added an advantage. But even if you don't know, it doesn't mean that UPSC panel will what you can say like will give you less mark. Simple thing, what you need to do. Suppose if any questions comes about the US general elections or your presidential election, and if you are not able to give the answer, if you don't know about it, what will you do in such situation? Yes, Ritika.
Avoid the topic.
Avoid. How will you avoid it? Simply you
In
can
the
say
interview, sir.
interview. Suppose if the question comes about US presidential election and we have not kept watch on it or you have not read about it or you don't have any more idea about the US presidential election, and if suppose if they ask you anything about the US presidential election, so what will you do in interview?
I'll say I don't know, sir.
That's it. Simple thing. So this is the best answer.
Okay.
See, by saying that I don't know also give you a mark. Now, there are some marks for what you can say accepting that you don't know and saying clearly that's I don't know, because it is humanly impossible to remember each and everything. It is humanly impossible to know about each and everything in the world. So UPSC is not looking for the person who knows everything. UPSC is looking for that person who accept that he knows this thing or who accept that he do not know this thing. Fine, Shari.
Yes.
So we have got today's newspaper. So we'll start for today. So I hope you don't have any newspaper for any doubts for the yesterday's newspaper. So today is a very, very interesting judgment given by the Supreme Court. Like we are discussing about that particular because of the issue that is a contempt of court we are discussing. A very interesting what you can say the argument has happened in the yesterday's Supreme Court. So that we are going to discuss here. So right hand side there is an article. Can you all see? Supreme Court urges rethink Bhushan stands firm. So what has happened in this contempt of court? Yesterday was 20th of August. It was expected that the Supreme Court will pronounce the punishment to Prashant Bhushan, and as per the Supreme Court, Prashant Bhushan has what you can say has been held guilty for contempt of court, and for that contempt of court, he may be punished for 6 months in jail. Right? So court has asked Prashant Bhushan to rethink over his opinion about the Supreme Court, and it has asked him to what you can say apologize for his statement, because Prashant Bhushan is not a normal person. Prashant Bhushan is a very senior lawyer. Prashant Bhushan has what you can say contributed in many what you can say the corruption cases. He has exposed many what you can say the corruption, especially the coal scam, then Fuji scam. It is not like that the Prashant Bhushan has filed case only what you can say in this government. He has also filed the cases against the Congress government also. He was one of the person who was the propagator of the right to information activity. He was also one of the promoter of the Lokpal bill. Right? He has a lot of what you can say contribution into the society, especially in the legal, what you can say, the fraternity. So that's the reason why Supreme Court is asking Prashant Bhushan to rethink over his, what you can say, the stand on the Supreme Court's or death. So court sets August 24 for unconditional apology. So if the apology is being given by Prashant Bhushan, then the court may, what you can say, not punish him for, what you can say, in spite of being, what you can say, the contempt of court. But the Prashant Bhushan says he stand on that and he will not apologize. And he said that he by what you can say, making those tweets, he believed that I have done my duty which I'm supposed to do by, what you can say, highlighting the issues of the judiciary or judicial issues in India. That's what he feels. So, and what he said in the Supreme Court, that he, if Supreme Court wants to punish me, I will humbly submit the punishment, I will accept the punishment, I will go to the jail, I will complete the punishment for the contempt of court, but I will stand on my opinion. That's what he said. So that is why now it has become a very, it has taken a interesting twist in the story, that now whether the Supreme Court will punish him or not, that will be decided on 24th of August. But anyways, here the question, a larger picture or a broader question, is about the debate between the freedom of expression which has been given to the citizens of India under Article 19, and again under Article 129, the contempt of court, what you can say, the power has been given to judiciary. So which thing should be considered as a contempt of court, or which thing should not be considered as a contempt of court? Can any person who is expressing their views about the, what you can say, the judgment or about anything, can it lead to the contempt of court or not? Such type of, what you can say, the constitutional interpretation is required. And this because we know Supreme Court judgments acts as a court of record. And if the punishment is given by the Supreme Court in this particular case, then obviously this will be kept as a, what you can say, the judgment of record. This will be taken as a reference judgment. And if anyone in future has such type of tweets against the judiciary, then obviously they will be also held responsible, or they will also be held guilty of, what you can say, as per this particular judgment. And that is why this judgment plays a very, very important, what you can say, the stage of the history of India, right? So you need to keep an eye on it. The question can be expected both in prelims as well as in mains. So prelims, obviously there will be some factual question, that under which article the contempt of court case can be initiated by the Supreme Court, that can be asked. That may be also asked about whether the freedom of speech and expression has a limitation for not criticizing the Supreme Court or not, because we have seen that freedom of expression is not absolute. It has some, what you can say, it has some, there's one term used that is called that limitations, right? There are some, what you can say, the constructive limitations on the freedom of speech and expression. So that all is, what you can say, is related in this particular case. So court says it won't be activated, that the sentence won't be activated until the review is decided. So court will give the punishment, but again the Prashant Bhushan has a right to file a review petition, and until and unless the review petition is filed, what you can say, review petition is taken care, there will be no sentence will be activated to the Prashant Bhushan. That is what is mentioned. So again, right hand side you can see Attorney General of India, that is Venugopal, said that Attorney General speaks up for Bhushan, sought action over his, what you can say, tweets last year. That is what is explained here. So he has requested not to punish Prashant Bhushan. That is what is mentioned here. So just read this article. Here there is one more article written by
Sir?
Arun. Yes. Yes.
Hello?
Yes, Rupali, you are right. Reasonable restrictions are there on the freedom of speech and expression. Yes, Sanya, continue.
Sir, he is the member of IAS, na?
Who? Prashant Bhushan. No.
Prashant Bhushan.
No. He is a senior lawyer in the Supreme Court. He is not a member of IAS. He is a senior lawyer. As an IAS officer, you cannot have the right to, what you can say, make such type of statements or such type of tweets. You cannot have, because as a civil services rule, when you join the civil services, you have to sign a bond where you cannot, what you can say, have such type of expressions on duty. If you want to give such type of expression, you have to, what you can say, resign, and then you have to. As a officer, as an IAS officer, as an IPS officer, you do not have, what you can say, the right to express your views. As an individual you can do, but not as an IAS officer. Yes, Venkat?
Sir, his campaign That Anna Hazare something.
He was a part of that Anna Hazare's movement for Lokpal Bill. So obviously he's not an
Lokpal,
IS.
yes sir.
Yeah, he was a part of the movement for the Lokpal Bill, but he's not an IS officer. He's a senior lawyer of the Supreme Court, and he was the one who created a draft of the
Yes,
Lokpal Bill. Okay, yes, Venkat, you want to ask something?
yes sir, yes.
Okay. So I'll go to the next article, which is written by Arun Chaudhary. Arun Chaudhary is again one of the senior politicians of India. He said, "Judgments judges deliver, their conduct determine public esteem and not a tweet." That is what is mentioned here. So here, one important thing is that how a tweet of two tweets of Prashant Bhushan can, what you can say, can damage the image of the Supreme Court. That is what he said. The judgments of the judges and their conduct will decide the people's trust in the system, and not just a two tweets of Prashant Bhushan will damage the image of the judiciary. That is what is his own, what you can say, the opinion. So read this article also. That's how that only two tweets will not damage the image of the Supreme Court. That is what is mentioned here. Now going to the next article, that is LAC, border management topic that we have yesterday discussed, a border mechanism. So a border mechanism meets, then fails to make headway on disengagement. So the meeting has been, what you can say, failed, and it has not made any way for disengagement on the line of actual control in Ladakh. So read this article. Just read it out. No need of, what I can say, cutting the article, but you need to know what is this border mechanism, which I have asked you yesterday to check it out. Check it. I'm going to the next page. I will directly go to the editorial page if there is no any important news in between. So yesterday there was a release of the Swachh survey report. So again, I guess Indore of the Madhya Pradesh has been declared as the cleanest city in India.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here there is one article related to India Nepal, what you can say, the dispute. So Nepal proposes meeting of boundary work group by September. So whatever the dispute is going on between India and Nepal over the border at the Kalapan area, so both are trying to create a boundary working group, right? So here the term is also used, BWG. Yesterday we have seen that India China, we have a framework for, what you can say, the border mechanism. So here it is boundary working group. So you need to know what is the mechanism created for such type of dispute between India and Nepal. So you read this article and cut this article and put it in India's bilateral relation, that is India-Nepal relations, in paper 2. Then going to the next page. So now Dubey seeks thorough removal as a chairman of House panel on IT. So we have seen that recently the parliamentary committee that is on information technology has summoned Facebook for its, what you can say, inaction on the flags, or what you can say, the flagging of the post. So now Nishikant Dubey has asked to remove the Shashi Tharoor as the chairman of the House panel. So it is a politics, you just read it out. Check it. Now going to the next, today's editorial. Today's editorial is about fighting to win. So this is about the COVID situation in India. So there are early signs of improvement in COVID-19 situation, but coronavirus is unpredictable. Battle is not over. That is what is mentioned. So we are able to almost achieve the, what you can say, that flattening of the situation, that we have seen that the coronavirus are crossing 50,000 rupees, 50,000 cases every day. So the country's coronavirus toll crossed 50,000 on Monday. more than 20 lakh people have been infected by the pathogen. So India is the world's third most COVID-19 affected country in terms of mortality and number of infections after the US and Brazil. But amid such what you can say dismal factoids, there are also early signs of country getting an upper hand in the struggle against the contagion. So read the situation. What is the situation? What are the governments are doing? How we are trying to what you can say fight this corona virus. That all is mentioned here. So just read this article. Below there is an article about what you can say the AGR, that is annual gross revenue dispute, which is going on in Indian economy. So across the spectrum, so failure to fix contentious AGR issues in telecom sector has far-reaching consequences. So you need to know what is this adjusted gross revenue issue and why some of the telecom companies are claiming to what we can say give concession in tax filing against the adjusted gross revenue. So you need to go and read, you need to go and check it out. What is this adjusted gross revenue? I'm expecting a question in the prelims exam this year. So question will be very simple, that adjusted gross revenue was in the news recently. It is related to which among the following sector? The question can be asked. So it is related to the telecom sector in India. That's what you need to check it out. So read this article. No need of cutting it. Just understand what is this annual gross revenues. If you do not understand, I will explain this to you in tomorrow's session. Then there is one more article at the right hand side that is about the tailwind from villages. So S.Y. Qureshi has an article. S.Y. Qureshi is an ex-chief election commissioner of India. So he has written an election that how the election can be conducted in such type of corona situation. In Bihar, election commission's challenge to ensure level playing field in mostly virtual campaigning. So we know that one of the important aspects of the election is that to give a level playing field to all candidates. So that is very important. So virtual campaign is going to play a very, very important role in the Bihar's election. So election commission's role is very important. So you can read this article. What are the challenges in front of the election commission in conducting the elections in Bihar and normally as well as the normal election? Because in paper 2, there is one topic called various constitutional bodies and their role in the Indian polity. So Election Commission of India is one such constitutional body which has a very significant role in the what you can see in the democratic country like India. So read this article, put this article in paper 2 topic Election Commission. So this will come under various constitutional bodies, and under various constitutional bodies there are various constitutional bodies. Under that you have to put Election Commission. Under an Election Commission you can put this article. So there is one more article written by Rahul Bajoria, that is tailwind from villages. So rural economy may do the heavy lifting in 2020. So we have seen that rural villages or rural consumption, or what you can say increase in the economic activity in the rural areas, may give a lift to the Indian economy, or it will help us in recovering the Indian economy. That is what is all mentioned here. So the next phase of policy support, both fiscal as well as monetary, can be more targeted towards the urban population, which has borne the brunt of the economic crisis and health crisis. Supporting discretionary spending and incomes in urban areas will not lead to a faster economic recovery, but will help in improving the fiscal balances. So here there is one topic called discretionary spending. So write down this term. I am expecting a question in prelims exam related to this discretionary spending. So can anybody tell me what is the meaning of this discretionary spending? Because this term discretionary spending was used in the 2019 budget speech by Nirmala Sitharaman. So government relied more on the discretionary spending rather than spending by the government. So can anybody tell me what is the meaning of this discretionary spending? Anyone knows?
Sir, I'm not sure, but
No, sir.
I think consumers will decide where to money spend.
Consumers will decide where to spend money, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how discretionary spending can be made sure? See, there are two things. One is that either government collect tax from the people and it will spend money, that will be called as the government spending, or government will not impose any taxes, or government will impose less taxes. So ultimately the money will remain in the hands of the people, and people will decide where to spend the money. So in the both the things, when government is spending, government decides where to spend. Right? Government will decide whether to spend that money for subsidy, or whether to spend that money for salaries of the employees, or whether to spend that money for infrastructure or development or any other aspect. But in discretionary spending, the people will decide, because what is happening here? Well, when the government is not taking the taxes, the money will remain in the hands of the people, and then people will decide whether to spend that money, and that is what is called as discretionary spending. Got it? So in this year government budget, rather than increasing the taxes, the government has lowered the taxes, and the philosophy behind is that if we lower the taxes, there will be more money with the people, and people will, what you can say, decide where to spend that money, that extra income, that extra money which will be in their hand, and that is what is called as discretionary spending. So that is what is explained here, that the discretionary spending will not recover the economy. That is what is mentioned. So government is trying to recover the economy by discretionary spending, but it is not going to happen. That is what is the meaning of Rahul Bajoria. So what is meaning is that is supporting discretionary spending and incomes in urban areas will not lead to faster economic recovery, but what will you need a, what you can say, to help in improving the fiscal finances. So government needs to improve the fiscal situation. Fiscal situation means what? Either increasing the revenues of the government and increasing the expenditure, and that expenditure needs to be done in the rural areas, so that rural area can act as a, what we can say, as a engine of growth of the economic growth of the country. So any doubt about this? What is the meaning of this article, or what this article is trying to write? Is it clear to all of you? Okay. Chaliye, going to the next page. A new social contract. Okay, anyone knows what is social contract? Who has given a theory of the social contract? Yes, anyone knows who has given the theory of social contract?
No, sir.
No. Sonali? Sonali,
No
Gitanjali?
idea, sir.
No idea. The theory of social contract has been given by Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Have you ever heard the name of Rousseau? Rousseau का नाम सुना है कभी? Hello?
Sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes. So Rousseau is related to what? Yes, Sat?
Mainly politics.
Where you have heard about Rousseau? Who was Jean-Jacques Rousseau?
Sir, with respect to Russia.
Russia or France? Okay, please mute yourself, Sat. So Rousseau was one of the French revolutionary philosophers. So he had given one philosophy called that there is a social contract between the state and the citizen. Right? So social contract means what? Whenever a king has become a king, there is a contract between a king and the subjects, that the king should act for the welfare of the people of the society. And if the king is failing in fulfilling that social contract between the citizens, and then it is called what you can say, that is called a social contract. So as per Rousseau, that there is a social contract between the subjects, between the people and the government, and if government fails to fulfill that, what you can say, the social contract, then the people have the right to remove the king and appoint another king. So that idea led to the thought of republic. That idea led to the thought of what is the French Revolution. And anyways, now Naushad Forbes is talking about a new social contract. So we need to fundamentally reform our labor markets, attract people to cities where we ensure healthy living conditions and create economic opportunities in rural areas. So we need to create, like now there is one topic in paper 1. That topic is called as urbanization, not on urbanization, issues related to urbanizations and their remedies, right? If anyone is having paper 1 syllabus. You can go and check it out. There is one topic called urbanization and you can say issues related to urbanization. Right. So there are various challenges, there are various problems, and there are various issues in the urban areas in India. One of the issue is about the labor market. It is about the living condition, healthy living condition of the people who are living in the urban areas, and also lack of what you can say the economic opportunities in rural areas. So how we can create a balance between both rural and urban areas? That is what is written here. Read this article, understand this article. What are the problems? What are the challenges both in rural and urban areas? And how we can have a balanced growth of both rural and urban areas. So I'm expecting a question in, I'm expecting that say essay topic on this particular area, or it may be a question can be asked in the paper one, that is problems of urban and urbanization. Okay, so just read this article and cut this article and put it in paper one topic, urbanization and problems of urbanizations and remedies. Any doubts about it? Check it. Now going to the next article. Article is written by Parmeshwaran Iyer. That is the pandemic, take a break. This moment may be ripe to re-evaluate life and career, put family over work. So this is a philosophical article written by Parmeshwaran Iyer, that what a priority we should give during this pandemic situation that is mentioned here. Right hand side, there is an article written by Jaya Jetli. Listen to the weaver. Weaver means, पता है आपको weaver मतलब कौन? Anyone knows weaver? Weaver means
The one who weaves the clothes.
yes. Jula, right? In Hindi we call them as Jula, right? So handloom day, today is the handloom day. Announcements look like a mix of the good and the bad, but are mostly foggy. That is what Jaya Jetli said. So there was some policy declared by the government on the National Handloom Day. So what are the flaws and problems of this handloom industry? That is explained here. So just read it out. Going to the next page. And explain page. China twist in Tista challenge. So there is a river called Tista which flows from India and Bangladesh, and there is a dispute going on between India and Bangladesh over the water sharing of the Tista river. So both the countries are trying to what you can say dissolve this issue. So China has intervened in this particular what you can say the challenge in this particular problem of the dispute between India and China, India and Bangladesh. So with the India-Bangladesh water sharing deal stuck, Dhaka has begun to discuss a Chinese loan to manage the river. So Bangladesh is going to take a loan from China to manage the infrastructure of this river. So where does this leave New Delhi, whose relationship with Dhaka has received a recent setback? So as I discussed yesterday, that the relations between India and Bangladesh and as well as India and Nepal has been received some setbacks in last 2-3 years. So why Bangladesh, which was like traditionally having a good relations with India, now it is why it is again leaning more towards China. That is what is explained here. So how has the Tista dispute progressed, and how has the India's relationship with the Bangladesh played out over the years, and what are these irritants, and how the relationship between Bangladesh and China has been developing now? How has been like this is a triangle of India, Bangladesh, and China relationship. So you need to know bilateral as well as a trilateral triangle relationship between India, Bangladesh, and China. India, Nepal, and China. India, Pakistan, and China. That you need to know. India, US, and China. Right? So how has India been engaging with the Bangladesh post CAA? Because Bangladesh has officially, what you can say, shown his protest against the proposed CAA or the CAA Act passed by the government. Then here you can see how has India sought to address China's latest move. What are the counters being created by the India to the China's moves in this particular issue, and what is the way ahead that is explained. So read this article, cut this article, and put it in paper 2 topic, bilateral relationship, India Bangladesh relationship. Fine. So by reading newspaper only, you can what you can say cover almost what you can say 90% of the UPSC main syllabus. That is UPSC mains, that is again by paper 2 and paper 3. So even if you just keep reading newspaper, you don't need to do anything extra for the UPSC mains, but you just need to know that which particular news is related to which particular topic of the syllabus. So for that, one thing you need to know that you need to know the whole syllabus. You need to by heart the whole syllabus. The syllabus should be that is in your head, and only when you read the newspaper, you should be able to link that particular news with the topic of the syllabus. Fine. So all of you are getting what I'm trying to say.
Yes, sir.
Okay, going to the next.
Yes.
India, how India's online pharmacy market runs. So we have seen that recently there was one protest by the Indian pharmaceutical or Indian what you can say the chemists, because one company is trying to what you can say start their online pharmaceutical delivery or drug delivery what you can say the store, that is Amazon is trying to start that, but many Indian medical owners and shop owners are objecting to this. So that is what is explained here, that how India's online pharmacy market runs. So is the activity a result of COVID-19? How is the pharmacy market in India currently shaped? What are the rules governing the pharmacy sector in India? What did the draft e-pharmacy regulation propose? So the government is trying to create a law on the regulations of the e-pharmacy business in India. And what is the status of the regulation in India? So you need to know which are the bodies which are regulating the drug industry in India, because questions have been asked in the past in both prelims as well as in mains related to the pharmaceutical industry in India. Okay, so you will cut this article, put it in prelims, science and tech topic. Okay, chaliye, going to the next page. I will directly go to the today's economics page. We are left with 6 minutes. We'll try to finish the economics news today within the 6 minutes. Check it. So after Kerala red flags airport privatization plan, Puri says state bid failed to qualify. So we have seen that yesterday there was a news by the India's what you can say the civil aviation minister, that the government is trying to what you can say privatize the airports. 3 airports they are planning to do. So Union Cabinet has cleared a leasing out Thiruvananthapuram airport to Adani Enterprises. So majority or all of the airports have been given to the Adani, which is one of the major business group in India. So that is Adani Enterprises. So the Thiruvananthapuram state has been given to Adani, but state government has what you can say also bid for the what you can say for handling the airport. So after Kerala red flags airport privatization plan, Puri says the state bid failed to qualify. So who is this Puri? Puri is the minister of what you can say responsible for the investment model. So as I told you yesterday, there is an investment model, that is PPP model. So on this PPP model, majority of the airports in India are being privatized by the current government. So you need to keep a watch on. Right hand side, there is a news related to unemployment. In paper 3, there is a topic called growth, development and employment. So unemployment allowance eligibility criteria under ESIC relaxed, workers can claim 50% of their wage if they are not getting what you can say any wages, or if they are not getting any what you can say the employment salary. So payable up to 90 days of the unemployment, that is what is extended. So just read it out. What are the laws and what are the regulations related to the unemployment problem in India? So ESIC, that is Employees State Insurance Corporation, has what you can say reduced the rules and have relaxed some rules, and they're trying to what you can say increase the they're trying to give some security to the employees employments in India, sorry, unemployed in India. Then next page, actually this is related to the informal sector. Okay, so Google launches its job search app in India. So just go and check it out. What is this Google Google what you can say the job search app? Check it. So there is nothing important in the today's economics. There is one news here related to the MPC, that is Monetary Policy Committee. So minutes of RBI Monetary Policy Committee meet. it has elevated inflation, undermining MPC's action to revive the growth. So inflation is increased in last few days, and as per the minute given in the RBI's monetary policy meet, that not giving attention towards the monetary policies, what you can say, the inflation actions is to revive the growth. That is what is mentioned here. So read this article. That's how the recommendations given by the monetary policy committee is been ignored to revive the growth. That is what is mentioned here. So in a process of reviving the growth, we need to increase the liquidity in the market, and when you increase the liquidity in the market, it may go for hyperinflation. So challenge for new MPC will be to target inflation, and as we have seen, the mandate given to the MPC is to maintain the inflation rate below 6%, but which has, what you can say, increased it, which has breached that target. So now the inflation rate is more than 6%, as we have seen as the last what you can say, the survey. So inflation being above the target range has thwarted the MPC's action to revive the growth and check the pandemic's impact. For the new MPC, inflation targeting would be the primary focus. That is what is mentioned here. So rather than focusing on economic growth, the MPC should focus more on keeping inflation at check. That's what is important here. Okay? So this is all for the today's newspaper. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. We are left with 1 minute. Yes,
Sir,
any
what
doubts?
are offshore funds?
Sorry?
Offshore funds means?
Offshore funds means the funds which are coming from foreign countries. These are called as offshore funds. The investment which is coming from the foreign countries.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, why we use the capital names in the international relation?
Capital what? Capital name.
Capital names. Yeah.
Yeah, like Dhaka, Delhi, Beijing.
Yes, sir. Why not country name?
Even I'm not aware about it, sir. But I know that the capital names are used, not the what you can say, the country's name. Maybe because the decisions are taken at the capital of that country. So maybe because of that, I will go and check it out. Why exactly the like the names of the capitals are used and not the country's name.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Check it. Chalo. Okay, so we'll stop it here today. Tomorrow we'll continue again.
Thank you.
Okay.